What's up, family? Welcome back to another one. Listen, we have to talk about the egregore of Black relationships because, honey, they are not stopping with the narrative that is being projected about what Black men and women want and need out of their relationships. And it's just delusional, a lot of what we are seeing. And so I want to talk to y'all about that today. The egregore of Black relationships, right? If you don't know what the egregore is or what that term means, it means a collective thought form, right? A collective belief. And what's happening right now, y'all, is they are really trying to shove this collective belief down our throats that Black men and women don't know how to serve, support, love, uplift, encourage, love on one another. So we are going to definitely debunk that belief, okay? Because it's just not real. It is just not real. So maybe y'all have seen it, right? Maybe y'all have seen this list of things that I don't know. Let me show y'all. I'm going to show y'all better than I can tell y'all. Let me see. Have y'all seen this list? Okay. First of all, y'all need to get on up in here. Y'all are probably like, what is an egregore? I'm going to explain it to y'all. So don't worry if you don't know what that means. Come on in. I'm going to explain to you what an egregore is because you need to know what it is, right? Like I just said, an egregore is a collective consciousness, right? It's a collective thought form or a spirit, an energy that is attached to a certain group of people. It could also be an attachment to your relationship, right? A collective thought form that you and your partner or you and your sister, you and your mother, you and your family have, okay? And you need to know what that is because as the person that is conscious, excuse this oil that's running down my body. Oh, I done oiled up my hair and it's clearly running everywhere. But as a person that is conscious, you need to be, tuned in with the fact of if you are, believing in this collective thought form, okay? You need to know and be aware if you are tapped into that energy because if you are probably blocking, your desires, your wants, the love, okay? The sexiness, the companionship, the partnership that you desire, you're probably blocking it from manifesting in your life because you are believing in this egregore collective thought form or consciousness that really is not real, right? Unless you choose to invest in it, unless you choose to believe in it, unless you choose to allow that thing to govern your life. Anyways, y'all, so how this topic even came up, Dreamwise and I were talking today about, how really over the last few years, it has just been a push on Black couple this, Black couples that, men want this, women want that. And we just realized like, okay, we have to debunk this because a lot of it is just lies, right? A lot of it is just illusions. And I truly feel that a lot of these narratives are put out there to convince people that this is the way life goes. Hell, I'm even seeing spiritual people who are spiritual that are talking about relationships, totally disregarding the spiritual aspect of relationships and only focusing on the money part, right? Like I follow a young lady on here on YouTube. I won't say who she is, but she's into spirituality. But all she's talking about is, okay, if he's not a provider man, or if he's not a builder man, if he's like, all of those things are good and true, right? Like in relationships, ladies, we do need men who are driven, who are ambitious, who are builders, who have a vision, right? Like Dreamwise was talking about the other day. We do absolutely need that. But that is not the most important part when you are deciding to connect with somebody. So we got to talk about all of that real quick. Let's just be real about what relationships is and get outside of these false narratives. Hell, let me tell y'all, real relationships is, y'all planning on watching a movie together and somebody falling asleep on the couch, right? Like, we got to get out of like the fairy tale of it all. We got to get out of the illusion of it all and really get down into the nitty gritty. Because best believe anytime Dreamwise and I watch something, he's more than likely going to be falling asleep, right? That's a real part of our relationship. Matter of fact, last night I got him back because he always falls asleep on me. Last night I got him back and I fell asleep on him, and I never fall asleep, right? I never fall asleep while we watching something, but last night I was exhausted. He gets up. Y'all, is Dreamwise the only person that falls asleep at 8:30? 8:30 hits, he sleep. It don't matter what we watching. It don't matter what we talking about. 8:30, he gone. Is that just him or is that y'all too? Are some of y'all falling asleep that early? Okay. Last night, 8:30 comes. I fell asleep. I took a little nap on the couch, probably around like 7 o'clock or something like that. I'm thinking I'm about to wake up and him and I are going to watch a movie. We're going to watch The Fall of Usher, The Fall of the House of Usher, one of those shows, Lupin, something like that. Something on Netflix we're going to sit up here and watch. Child, I wake up. It's about 8:30. He talking about I'm about to get in the bed. I'm like, sir, I'm thinking we about to kick it. I'm thinking we about to have a good time. I know I needed a little cat nap, but I'm thinking that he's gonna snap out of it. Absolutely not. He goes and he gets in the bed at 8:30. Now I'm up and I'm like, okay, y'all, and this is deep. Let me tell y'all something. These ancestors, they are coming through right now. Whether they're your biological family or not, like people who have made the transition, they're coming through right now. So y'all need to pay attention to your dreams, because what happened to me yesterday, I fell asleep on the couch around 7 o'clock. Took a little cat nap because I was tired, clearly. Dreamwise gets up, goes to bed at 8:30. And I'm like, all right, let me just stay up and kick it for a little bit. I stay up probably for 30 more minutes in the living room watching something. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. I come in the room. He lay in Kimmy in our bed, knowing she's supposed to be in her own bed. I pick her up, put her in her bed. I get in the bed. Me getting in the bed wakes him up. We start talking about, I don't know what. We're talking. I finally go to sleep. Well, actually, I'm scrolling on my phone. This is crazy, y'all. I'm scrolling on my phone and I see this post that one of my homegirls from high school passed away recently. We played on the same basketball together. And matter of fact, this young lady was struggling with sickle cell anemia for forever, like all her life, right? Like when we were in high school, there were times where she would not be at school because she was in the hospital battling this blood disorder, right? Sickle cell. So just found out like recently that she passed away. I go to sleep, y'all. I go to sleep, tossing and turning, finally fall asleep because y'all know I'm big pregnant. Finally fall asleep. Right when I enter the dream realm, here she is. I'm like, damn. First of all, I'm like, I have not talked to you in years. So how are you automatically like popping up in my dream space right now? Like, how are you here? And so she asked me, she says, she kind of asked me what's going on. And I'm like, yeah, I just heard you passed away, that you made the transition. And she's like, yeah. She says, but how are you here? Like, why are you so light? She literally asked me in a dream last night, why are you so light? Like, why are you like shining? And that was crazy because I'm dreaming, y'all. This is a dream. And I tell her I'm an angel in the flesh. Now that was creepy to me because I'm like, why would I say I'm an angel in the flesh? Why wouldn't I say something like, well, I'm conscious, right? I have a certain level of awareness. And so that's why I'm able to tap in with you and feel this energy. But I said like I'm an angel in the flesh or something like that. All I'm telling y'all, family, is that October 29th is the Day of the Dead. We also have a lunar eclipse on Saturday. And so the veil is very thin right now. So when y'all are sleeping, y'all are dreaming, and even when you're moving around in your day-to-day life, you may start to see some energies of family members, friends, so on and so forth, of people who have made the transition. Because that literally just happened to me last night. I have not talked to this young lady in years and had just found out that she passed away. And boom, here she was asking me questions in the dream realm. And I'm like, okay, sis, this is what's happening, so on and so forth. So it was absolutely crazy. And so what y'all need to know and understand is that the reason why that happens like that, or situations happen like that, is because we are light beings, like Dream Wise just said. We're light beings. And as light beings, when people make the transition, they're looking for light. They're looking for support, for help, for guidance as they are trying to navigate this new reality. So you all being conscious, you all having a certain level of awareness, don't be surprised if in these next couple of days, probably all the way up to November 1st, okay, probably all the way up to November 1st, don't be surprised if, and I said October 29th. It's not October 29th. The Day of the Dead is November 1st, right? It is November 1st, but this energy 3 days before, 3 days after is all of that energy that lingers, okay? So if you don't know, on Patreon this Saturday, that's why I said that. On Patreon this Saturday, we're doing a hypnotherapy session with Yoshi. She's going to take us through a hypnotherapy session to connect with our ancestors, or to connect with a specific ancestor that is trying to communicate with you. So if you are on Patreon, make sure that on Saturday, what day is Saturday? The 28th? Make sure that on Saturday night, I think we're doing 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to all go through a hypnotherapy session where we're going to tap in, get to see our ancestors, see who comes through, tap into this energy that is available for all of us. And don't be scared, right? I know your Christian family members told you don't be talking to your ancestors, right? I know they told you that if somebody passed away, you shouldn't be engaging with them. Rebuke them in the name of Jesus, right? I know they told you that. But shit, Jesus was bringing people back from the dead, you know what I mean? Speaking to angels and energies and all of those things like that. So don't cut yourself short. There is access. There is power within that energy, all right? So yeah, that just happened. So y'all stay on the lookout, because you probably got some people coming through your dreams. Now let's talk about this real quick. I'm about to show y'all this list. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen this kind of floating around right now. Have y'all seen this? This list of things not to do on a first date. Things of, places that men should not take women on their first date. Let me know if y'all could actually see these things. Okay. You got the Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, your house. If you are in a committed relationship right now, I want to know from y'all, what was y'all's first date? What was your first date with that person that you are in a committed, spiritual, loving relationship with right now? What was y'all's first date? Was it one of these places? Y'all let me know in the chat. Because what I want y'all to know and understand, that even these posts that they're putting out like this is all a freaking illusion. Because the reality is, when you go out on a first date, you still in like friendship mode. You still trying to like get to know a person. So it like y'all, this world is so crazy. This world is so crazy. See, you got Red Lobster in the movies, Denny's in the movies. Like, you just was trying to enjoy yourself. It wasn't it wasn't so serious like they making it right now. We went to a creek. Ooh, that's real beautiful. That's real beautiful. Vash, the life get together. I like that. See, they trying to really make it seem like doing simple things like this is like whack and it's not good. And that's what I'm saying. If people are buying into this, that's one of the egregores of Black relationships, right? That's one of the egregores of Black relationships is that, women only want you for your money. So on that first date, you better show out because she got to put on makeup. She got to put on clothes, may have to find a babysitter if she got kids. On that first date, you better absolutely show out because she only want to see what your bag is like. And then the egregore of Black relationships is that men only want you for your body. So you better be the most beautiful, the most dressed up, the most all of that. And it's really delusional. Let me think about Dream and I's first date. So Dream and I have had, I would say, 2 first dates. Here's what I mean by that. We had a date that wasn't called a date that we went on when we were just friends. Because I told y'all, we met working at the same job. I was 18. He was however many years older. I was probably like 19. He was however many years older. We had been working out together, training together, because y'all know I was a volleyball player in college. He was a personal trainer. So it was a perfect little situation because I'm like, I still need to be exercising so that I can go back to school, still be in shape and all of that stuff like that. So he was like personal training me. Hell, that could have possibly been the first date because they got on this list talking about, they said the gym. You better not go to the gym on the first date. Well, Dream and I had a first date at the gym. We talking and he like, okay, do these squats, do this. And that was good. But we were friends. We went to the movies multiple times together. Went to go see The Purge together. The very first Purge we saw together. I mean, we just did a whole bunch of different stuff just as friends. But I will say, y'all, after we decided to actually be together, should I say be together? After we decided that we were interested in each other, like on an intimate, more like I'm looking at you like, okay, you may be, I want to see what this can do. After we made that decision, y'all, that's when he started to show out. Okay. I remember, y'all, he had hit me up and said, hey, I want to go on a date. And I was like, okay, cool. Like a real date? Like, yeah, I want to go on a real date. Like, I'm trying to take you somewhere. And so he comes and picks me up from my apartment in his car, which was nice. And y'all, I could tell he put so much energy and effort into how he was dressed, y'all. He had on like a vest that was like a sweater, which could have, like in today's time, that sweater vest may be looked at as corny. It may be looked at as corny today, but then, however many years ago that was, honey. And he was in shape. I'm talking about shoulders were out to here. Arms were nice and big. Child, that sweater vest was looking right. Okay. He had on this gray sweater vest, some jeans, some nice little shoes. He had a little beanie cap on top of his locks because it was kind of like transitioning into fall season. So it's a little bit cool, but the sun's still out. Y'all know what I mean? And I remember him coming to pick me up. Honey, he had put forth his best effort. He had put forth his best effort for what he was going to wear. He made sure he smelled good, girl. Y'all, he made sure his muscles was out. I was like, okay, you trying to show out. And then for the date, he took me to, and he tries to play so bad. He took me to the museum, which was so nice. Let me see if this list say don't take me to the museum because they may be, these people are so fake. Nah, they got let's go to the museum on the first date. They saying that's okay. Well, Dreamwise, you passed this test as far as the first date list test, even though this is totally delusional. Okay, y'all, don't believe it. It's delusional. We're not even investing in this, okay? So he took me to the museum. We went to the African American Museum of Art. So all the artists in this museum are all Black artists, and it's all Black art, and it was good. He swears it was a free date. He swears it was free. He swears, you know how in your city you have these specific days where the museum is free? He swears that it was that. Even if it was that, though, you see, another woman who was caught up in this egregore of Black relationships would feel like discounted by that. Like, he gonna take me to a free museum for our first date. Like, girl, was the museum good or not? Was it a good idea or not? See, for me, that was great. Cause we walking around looking at this art, we talking about it, acting all deep and shit. We like, okay, what you think this mean? What this mean to you? What this look like to you? We doing all of that, and it was great. I loved it. I was so into this date. I was like, oh, I honey, at that date, I was like, okay, he may be the one because this is it for me, for who I am. Okay. And then after we left the museum, we went out to eat. And this was so good. He took me to a Mediterranean restaurant, which is delicious, fresh, vegetable forward food. And it was delicious. And food is something that Dream and I really connect on now, to where we like to try different food. And so when he took me to a multicultural restaurant, instead of us going to somewhere, that's just American food or something, that was another check for me. Like, okay, this person is versatile. They open-minded. They got good taste. You know what I mean? So understand, ladies and gentlemen, that this list that they got going on around here is just a spirit or energy that they are trying to attach to Black men and women. Because let's be clear, other cultures are not having this. They're having this conversation. They are having this conversation, but the conversation is, it's not being shoved down your throat. It's not being shoved down your throat, right? It's not being like, this is the way that it has to be. If he does this, and this, then this is a problem. If he tries to take you to these places, ladies, run away. They're not doing that, right? They may be having the conversations. A woman that is not of color, she has her desire, she has what she wants, but ultimately what she wants more is true companionship and partnership, and those qualities of a solid man. Okay, provider, protector, those things. And so if he takes her to Buffalo Wild Wings, especially, certain types of women, let's say it's a woman that likes sports, and y'all go to Buffalo Wild Wings and y'all are watching a soccer game, a football game, or a basketball game, she may very well be happy. So a lot of women don't know and understand that following these rhetorics, honey, you're taking yourself out the game. So I want to make sure that you ladies in here who are actively dating and trying to find that partnership, don't let these things, right? Don't let these narratives and stories about what relationships are, don't let that get into your mind and have you blocking something that is actually divine. Because the truth of the matter is, where you go out on your first date does not determine whether you have found a good partnership, whether you have found somebody that you could actually build something quality and long lasting with. You know what I mean? And so this is just a big ass illusion. Okay? Because you wanna, it don't matter where you are, what that conversation do, what that energy do, what does that heart to heart connection do? Do you just feel, understand, and get each other? And that's what it was with Dream Wise and I. Whether we were at the movies, the museum. Let me look at these places. Funny enough, he did take me to a buffet one time. He did take me to a buffet one time, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Of course, I don't eat a lot at a buffet. I'm not the type of person that's going to go up in here and just be eating all of this stuff. But yeah, he took me to a buffet. Babe, why did you take me to that buffet? You done took me to a buffet twice. Twice you took me to a buffet. One time you took me to a buffet to tell me, we were just friends. I don't know why this came into your mind, but we went to a buffet right by my mama's house. It was like Buffet King or something. And you like, I like you or whatever, but I don't think I could be with you right now. And I appreciated that honesty, but I was also kind of taken back because we weren't having a conversation about being together. So why are you bringing this up? See, that's the quality, ladies, of a man that you actually would desire, though. Straightforwardness, honesty, integrity, etc., etc. See, the lady who was just on there talking about she want to go to Cheesecake Factory, like, sis. So the reality is, ladies, you don't want to go to Steak 48, Perry Steakhouse, all of these other fancy places where the bill is going to be higher, which that don't really matter. But to some of these ladies, they're deluding themselves to think that it does. Okay. You don't want to go to these places and this man don't have no integrity. He don't have no consciousness, no realness, no honesty. He ain't letting you know that, yeah, he taking you to Steak 48, but he taking another girl there as well. You know what I mean? So, ladies, you got to understand this. You got to get out of this. Got to get out of this energy and really focus on the spiritual aspect of things and what it is that you are actually needing on a mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical level. Like those all you need all of those things in combination in order for you to have a relationship that is actually sustainable, in order for you to have a relationship that is actually powerful, in order for you to have a relationship that actually is going to move you, grow you, heal you, evolve you. And I think a lot of times, especially right now, people completely have it confused, right? Like where a man takes you on the first date determines his ability to love, nurture, provide, nourish, and give you what you need. And it's just not what it is, right? It's just not what it is. Let's look at this other list real quick. Honey, they done brought Kevin Samuels up up out the grave to talk about what the type of women men should not date. Single mothers, women with tattoos, OnlyFans workers, Instagram models or bottle girls, women with an Instagram page, women with purple hair or unnatural hair color. This is so silly. Women with hoe friends, okay? Women who drink liquor regularly. Listen, the fact that they're even creating these things so fast, right? Like the conversation just was had like last week or so. In some way, somehow, these posts are being made and put out there so fast. That to me symbolizes that this is like a spiritual energy that they are intentionally, or an egregore energy. Let me say that. An egregore thought form, mental energy that they're trying to just push out there on people, right? Women who have been engaged, divorcees, the very last one y'all says American Black women. See, this right here is just a tactic to continue the argument between Black men and women. That's all it is. The first date list that I just showed y'all and this that we're seeing right now is literally just a tactic to keep Black men and women arguing. While other races of people are simply laughing, though they may have the same kind of thought processes or whatever, it's not the same, right? Like this is literally a joke. It's literally a joke. But when a person is unconscious, when a person doesn't have a certain level of awareness, these become real things. These become real deal breakers that, that they kind of cross off. And then let me say this. It's not a problem, ladies and gentlemen, to have a list. Matter of fact, I call it your love list. That's what people have to know, right? Your love list. I was telling this to some ladies that I was teaching about how to manifest and sustain their love. You need to have a list of what you would like and desire from a person, right? You need to have a clear vision of what it is you feel like you need. Not because that's what you're trying to look for in somebody else, but because those are the qualities that you need to cultivate within yourself. Okay? So if a woman is saying, I want a man that is fit, he got to be active. He got to make this amount of money. He got to have a spiritual practice. He got to have a connection to God. Or he got to do all of these things. If a woman has a list of all of those things that a man has to have, the reason why you have that list, sis, is so that you can become those things. Because the more you become the qualities that you desire from a partner, like attracts like. So the more you become that, the more your frequency, your vibration, your light will attract that thing to you. Okay. Some of these ladies on these lists, you know, they want to go to Perry Steakhouse and they want to go to all of these luxurious restaurants, but they can't afford to take themselves there. Okay. How you sit up here talking about he got to take me to Nobu, he got to do this, he got to do that. Sis, have you ever been to Nobu on your own dime? See, that's the part that a lot of people who are seeking and searching to manifest relationships, that's a major key part that they're missing. Even men are like, I want a woman that's, you know, she got to be a nurturer. She got to be, you know, ambitious. She got to have her own grind. She got to have this. She got to be growth. She got to be willing to learn, da, 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 da. And then you look at him like, bro, are you learning? Are you growing? Are you evolving? Are you becoming better? It's the same thing. And so what I want y'all to understand and what I want people in general to understand is that y'all know this already because y'all are on this spiritual path. So you know and understand that inside of us is both masculine and feminine energies. And we have to cultivate both of those things inside of ourselves first and foremost. And then when we attract a partner, the partner enhances that, or they enhance the work, but they also show us parts of ourselves that we need to improve upon. All right. Like when Dream and I got together, I was meditating regularly. He was doing his spiritual work, and we were already friends. But before that time, we weren't looking at each other like that at all. I had no clue. And I knew him for years. I had no clue that we would be here. But I started meditating every day, child. And I saw him one day and I was like, I kind of like you. I kind of like you. And then when that happened, I was like, oh, this is kind of real. And then for a long time, I was still kind of shocked. Like, I was still kind of shocked. I still couldn't believe, and I'm still pleasantly surprised even right now as to how peaceful and how loving and just how easy our relationship is. I'm still kind of shocked by that. Like, it really blows me away. I want to show y'all this video that is so funny. Oh God, hold on. Hold on. Y'all gotta listen to this. This is absolutely hilarious. Okay. This is absolutely hilarious. We're gonna talk about what he says though.
Do you know why?
Coochie. No. Make everything fun.
What?
Coochie.
No.
Shit.
No.
Shit.
Let me tell you what the man told me.
I know what he told me. Let me tell you something good. When you hit the right coochie, can't nobody tell you nothing after that. Not a goddamn thing. The priest, the preacher, don't matter. When you get with the right coochie, ain't no need in your mama, your daddy, your uncle, nobody trying to tell you shit.
What makes it the right one? Because you act like any random hoe.
No. It's not any port in the storm. Guys use that phrase, but that's bullshit, baby. Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to write a book about love before it's over. Somebody else is going to write it. I'm addicted. You've been kissed by a man that really loves you, you'll know the difference like night and day. When you've been loved by a man that truly love you, not screwed, loved, baby, they ain't gonna be able to pry your ass away from that man with a crowbar. I'm telling you what I know. Two women in my life. Two women in my life. I swim the Mississippi River, goddamn, with both my hands tied behind my back to get to that woman. You better believe that, Shane.
You gonna say?
I'd walk through hell with gasoline drawers on.
For which?
Did y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all were able to hear that. Hopefully y'all were able to hear that. That man said coochie. He is so serious. Y'all, the restaurant you go to, the whatever these people are out here trying to put out there, when you get connected to something that is real and that is really in alignment with your higher self, it's like what he said. He literally just said, y'all let me know if y'all were able to hear that. Put a 1 in the chat, please, because I'm over here enjoying the video. I hope y'all were able to hear it. He literally just said he would swim the Mississippi River with his hands behind his back. Right? Like, forget about taking you out to eat to a fancy restaurant. We're talking like that's what I'm saying. We as a society, and I don't even like to say we as a society because it ain't no, there's just this collective thought form that what somebody provides financially or how a woman looks, that these things are really the priority, which is crazy. Like, okay, to sort of kind of name drop right now. Like, take for instance the goddess, what's her name? Ashura, the star goddess, right? Very powerful, beautiful young lady and spiritual, right? She has some spiritual wisdom, some spiritual insight. But I have not heard her talk about the spiritual implications of being in a relationship with somebody. It's, what he gonna pay for? I can't even act her out. Geez. It's just sprinkle. You know what I mean? Ladies, you don't want to be in a relationship with someone who has all the money in the world and is willing to shower you with that money, but he don't love you. He would not swim across the Mississippi River with his hands behind his back to save you or to rescue you. Like, we got to really think about that. Okay? And brothers, it's the same thing. Like, you don't just want a woman because she looks a certain way or she, like he said, screws a certain way, but she doesn't like really understand your heart, right? Understands your mind, uplifts, encourages, and provides something for you that only the soul and the spirit can truly understand. And that's my problem with a lot of these people that are talking about relationships. Like, the relationships is all talking about, is he a provider and is she, what does she bring to the table? That type of rhetoric, that type of narrative. Okay. And it's actually quite delusional. This man said, he said, when you get a certain type of coochie, but he is so inappropriate. Listen, the coochie and the sex is not necessarily about it. What we're not talking about, y'all, is the sensation of it. Okay? I need y'all to understand that. What we're talking about is the magic that happens when you connect to the right person. Y'all probably have experienced this. You probably have experienced this where you are intimate or sexually active with somebody and there is no spark there. There is no oneness there. Yes, your physical bodies are coming together, but there's no magic. There's no God taking place in that space. And I think the coochie that he talking about that would have him running through hell with gas draws on, like he said, it starts outside of the bedroom. It starts by deeply understanding and feeling and connecting to one another on a mental, emotional level. And so, ladies, when the narrative is being put out there, don't have sex too early, don't give up your body too soon. That narrative, ladies, is not so that you are not being slut shamed. No, it's not about that. It's about the simple fact, ladies, that men don't fall in love just because you've had sex. They just don't. They need they need you to draw out something that they haven't felt before. You know, they need you to spark something inside of them that helps them to remember like who they are, right? And this is not like a fake thing. It's not like an ego thing. It's not like you just telling a man anything that he wants to hear, because they can feel that too. But it's literally a sweetness about your soul, your spirit, that is soothing to them. Now, this don't mean you're perfect as a woman, as a wife, because I know I'm not, and nobody is. Doesn't mean that at all. But what it means is that you just spark this life inside of them. And I'm gonna make a whole video if y'all want to hear about it. I'm gonna make a whole video on what that is, what that energy is, how we actually do it. But just giving you the straight up, you have to recognize your reflection in this person. You know, something that I think really connected Dream and I was it's so crazy. Men want to be admired, ladies. Let me tell y'all. They want to be admired. They want to be like, they want you to look at them and feel like they're God. Right? They want you to be impressed with them. Men desire that. They may not say that out of their mouth, but that's what they desire. Because if you admire a person, then there's a certain level of respect that you have with this person, right? That's just a side note. Y'all can believe me or you cannot, but I'm telling you that's what it is. There was this one night I was at Dream's apartment, and I was feeling good. Maybe we had a few shots. I don't know. Maybe we had a few shots. I remember it was summertime. He's in the kitchen. He had like a little bar area. I'm on one side of the bar that's like in the living room, on the side of the living room. He's on the side of the bar that's in the kitchen. And I'm looking at him. I don't know what he's talking about. I wish I could remember what he was talking about, but I have no clue what he was talking about. But I was just looking at him, and I was just like, damn. I remember in my mind, and I felt crazy when this happened, but it makes sense now. I remember in my mind wanting to be him. I remember being like, damn, this is a really awesome person. Like, he is really, I love what he's doing. I love how he lives his life. Like, I was just like, I admired him, you know? And I think on a very deep level, I think he felt that. And I think that energy inspired him to be like, okay, this is a woman that I want to be with. So when we're talking about men leading, right? Because that's a whole nother egregore, right? About this conversation of how you gonna lead a woman if you ain't this or if you ain't that, and da 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 da. It wasn't about what Dream had at the time, though he was a teacher, he had his own apartment, had his own car, he was stable and all of that, and could take us on quality dates. It wasn't about what he had that made me admire him. It was his discipline and his mind that made me admire him. It was how he carried himself, how he was kind, that made me admire him. And so that's another thing, ladies. In this video, I think this man continues to talk about how if you want to be with a person for all the wrong reasons, okay, he drive a BMW, he got a nice job, he fine as hell. If you want to be with a man for all of those reasons, ladies, which we are being programmed with that. I shouldn't say we because I'm beyond that, but a lot of women are being programmed with that idea. What does he have? What can he provide? All of that. You'll find yourself in a real messed up situation because there was no spiritual compatibility there. There was no real admiration for his soul and for his being. There was a desire to get in his bag and for his bag to open up a way or a door for you, etc., etc. And so now you're in this relationship for the bag, okay? Or now you're in this relationship for what he can provide and what it looks like on the outside. And this man will be dragging you through hell. Narcissism, verbal, mental, emotional abuse, all because you as a woman wanted to be with him for the aesthetic. And that's an egregore energy within Black relationships right now that needs to change. Same thing, and then on the opposite side, from men to women, a lot of men are looking at women for their bodies. You know what I mean? How they can appease his ego, right? So when I'm telling y'all, like, I admired Dream, this was not an egotistical thing. This was a spirit thing. This was my heart thing. This was a pure thing. This was not me like, ooh, let me tell him this because this gonna make him. I genuinely felt that way and still feel that way, okay? So I just want y'all to understand that we can't be buying into these narratives. And as women, in order to really create, manifest, and sustain healthy love and partnership in this chaotic ass time, you have to be first of all, you have to detach from these narratives, okay? You have to detach from these narratives. You have to be really into yourself holistically. You have to have emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence. You have to know what it is you need at the soul level, okay? Because not every woman and not every man needs the same thing. And the idea that is being projected out there right now spiritually is that everybody needs the same thing, right? So when you got this damn relationship gurus on here talking about, girl, if he take you to the Cheesecake Factory and he got to give you this amount, when you got all of these people, like, no. Every woman don't need that. There are some women that do need that. And it's still a spiritual thing, right? It's still a spiritual thing, but that's a whole nother conversation. Anyways, y'all, don't buy into these narratives. Don't buy into these lists and these things like that. If you are single right now, man or woman, self-development is going to be your greatest gift. And then getting out of this spirit of like looking for love, like stop, be love. Be love. And being love, when you decide that you are going to be love, that's when love starts to show up in your life. And it starts to show up in so many ways. It shows up as new friendships. It shows up as new opportunities. It shows up as financial abundance. It shows up as your gifts and your talents coming online. It shows up as you tapping into another level of power. That's how it really shows up. And then as you're growing and healing and transforming within yourself, that is when a person or a reflection that is on that same frequency will actually show up. Okay? So get to your work. And then the next time we talk, I think I'm going to talk specifically about what it actually means to be a woman in relationships. Okay? I think I got a little bit of insight, being that Dream Wise and I will be starting our 9th year of being together, which is absolutely magical. I think both of us have surpassed our parents. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal, because what that says is that we've actually broken certain egregores or generational thought forms, generational curse, generational beliefs that has been casted upon our mother, our father, our grandparents, right? Like, we've already surpassed them. I know on my side of the family and on his side as well, with his mother and father, my mother and father, We done went way past where they got to. Okay. And that should be a goal for y'all, but from a healthy place, right? You don't want to be repeating the same cycle as your mother and your grandmother because you're holding on to their beliefs. And that's what the egregore is. It's the continuation of a certain belief, a certain thought form, a certain ideology that is actually draining your companionship and your partnership. All right. And let me tell y'all, some of y'all's union, some of you who are in a relationship right now have an egregore that governs over your relationship. Some of y'all, the egregore that governs your relationship or the thought form that governs your relationship is, he got to provide for me financially. I got to give him some body, yada, yada. And that's how our relationship prospers. Some people have an egregore over their relationship that I'm only happy in this relationship if I'm making a certain amount of money. If my money is looking funny, I'm not happy in this relationship or no relationship at all. I've literally seen that. Some people have an egregore in their relationship, right? Within that union where one person is manipulative and the other person is naive and easily manipulated. Do you understand? And then on the opposite side, there can be a collective thought form within a relationship that says, let's stay spiritually grounded. Let's stay spiritually rooted. Let's keep doing our work. That's a spirit that is attached to Dream and I's relationship, to where we're grounded in self-work, evolution, evolving, and let that guide our relationship. Another egregore or spirit, a part of our relationship, is well-being, holistic health and well-being, right? So Dream and I know that throughout our entire relationship, exercise, fitness, and not for glamour, right? Not because I want big muscles, even though, I do one day would love to do like a bodybuilding competition or something. But not because I want big muscles, but because we understand how exercise makes us feel, the vitality that it gives us, the liveliness that it gives us. Hell, we met in the gym. So that's an energy that is attached to our relationship that we continue to utilize to keep us in a healthy, holistic space. Like, we like going to the gym together. Okay. So pay attention to that in y'all's relationship. If you are a couple, what's the repetitive theme in your relationship? What's that thing that keeps you grounded? Or what's the repetitive thing that y'all continue to argue about? Because more than likely, that is an egregore, that is a thought form, an entity, a spirit that you got to work through. Either it serves you or it doesn't. Some of these thought forms are serving the couple. Some of them are destroying it. Some of these thought forms are supporting, society, but most of them are destroying it. Okay. So pay attention to that. Don't buy into these narratives. And we'll talk more about it over the next couple of weeks. Make sure y'all join us on Friday, Dreams and Desires. We're going to be talking about the show, The Fall of the House of Usher. So if y'all have not watched that show on Netflix, go watch it. Go watch that show so that y'all can be engaging in the conversation when we talk on Friday. And then if you're not a part of Patreon, make sure you join us over there, because on Saturday, we are doing a hypnotherapy session with Yoshi Hypno Soul. Go follow her on YouTube or on Instagram. Go check out her stuff so that you can see what we're kind of going to be doing. And make sure you're on Patreon so you can join us on Saturday night. All right. Peace, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day or your evening.